Well, welcome to Dartmoor. It's supposed to be the hottest Saturday on record. It is supposed to be so hot that we have literally frizzled away to nothing. But luckily, it's typical British weather, and the weather never does what the forecast says it will do. I can see one person, two people have just joined us. Would you be good enough to confirm that you can hear me? That would be appreciated, because I was having rather fun with my microphone here. So if you are able to, type a message, that would be evening. You can hear me? Good. All right. That's great. Thank you. All right, so like I say, we're literally in the middle of Dartmoor. If I do a little about turn on the camera, then you can see one furry, fluffy dog. That's great. Thank you, Quinton. Yeah, I had fun. These RodeGo microphones, the battery on them seems to just die very quickly. I might have to look to replace them for something else. I think Rode do one that you can plug into a box and charge up. I'm sure I walked past you the other day up Dartmoor. Quite possible, but so you're a okay. So you're a different Shane to the other Shane, yeah, because he wouldn't be a Shane on here, would he? So yeah, that's correct. This is Dartmoor. Behind me. Yeah, it's a different. I get confused with machines. So yeah, so that's Dartmoor behind me. It was full of the army people the last few days. I don't quite know what they were playing at, but as I was saying earlier on, it's not hot now. Mind you, it's the evening anyway now, and it has, it has cooled off, somewhat now, thankfully. But I've been here for 2 nights. This is my 3rd night, heading back home tomorrow, and I haven't done a live stream for quite a while. And I thought that, it'd be a good idea to, to get a live stream going. I'm just sitting by this tree, which you can see, and I've got a very helpful sitting thing. I've got a Cuban fibre which I've kind of pinned to the ground, and that's doing a pretty good job. Thank you for the 2 likes. If you can add a couple more likes to the video, then that shows YouTube that you're interested, and it isn't just some random nutcase here, and then YouTube might share these videos out a bit more. If you've got any questions, post them, and I will, do my best to answer them. I'll check questions. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the signal, stays okay. I've put my my other phone, I think, in the tree, and that's acting as a hotspot to this iPhone. So what we're going to do is we'll walk over to camp, and we'll kind of have a little look around, around there. We'll kind of see how time goes. One thing I might also do is, because the wind has done a 180 on us, pretty much, it must be one of the few trees on Dartmoor. It literally probably is the only Dartmoor. And evening, Dave, I saw there. So we're probably going to pop over to the Trailstar, and we'll switch the door around. I'll show you inside, because the wind was coming up the valley. It's now going, in the opposite, direction now. So let's head over that way. Now, I'm going to have to keep you, or the microphone, plugged in to this, if the sound does suddenly disappear, then and I might just try one other thing later on if I think about it. So what we'll do is we'll switch the door around, because it's kind of something that really needs doing. Tony Hobbs can only camp on Dartmoor. Well, we do try. We did brave it with the Lake District the other week. You'll have to excuse me ass when I just go in. I'm just going to put this one up high, just so we make sure we get a bit of a signal and that you don't all disappear on me, although I'm sure you'd probably all prefer to disappear. Anyway, well, come around here. So when you need to switch your door around, basically what you do, there is another way of doing it, and I know some people have said that you can do some sort of something or other. I don't know, I never bother with it. So basically you collapse your door, and when you've collapsed your door, take your line out. I mean, it's simple enough this way, really. You do have to yank your peg out that was here, so you kind of got to swap 2 lines and 2 pegs, and then you need to pull this line out and that peg out, and then this peg here, or this line I mean, goes in here and really is, yep, I say easy enough. Just mind you don't lose your other peg there, and you do have to move. Oh, yeah, God. Oh, that was in tight, as he actually said to the bishop. And then you whack that one in. Just come and see what you're looking at in a minute. All right, you've probably got to just jiggle it a little bit as well. Let's bring you around here. Hang on, I haven't got a gimbal on the tripod. I was trying to kind of set my pole. Don't worry, lassie, they've probably all gone by now, so we'll just carry on as you were, lassie. So you basically just take your pole. So now you've done this, what can you see? Okay, so now you just take this line here, stick it in the door, your new door there, thread that through there, something like that, and hey presto, you kind of have a brand new door. You'll probably find that you have to, this is when you kind of hope that the whole lot doesn't collapse and fall apart on you when you're doing it live. I'm just going to wander this way. I do like to have quite long lines on here. So we whack that in there. Ooh. Give that a good shove in there. That up there. Now you will notice that I have got the Trailstar very high off the ground because it's been so hot. I've kind of been using it as a parasol almost. Whack that one in there, tighten that one up, and then you've got your door shifted over here, and then all you do is simply then just come back. Can you see anything there? No, I knew I'd put my peg. Where did I put my peg? Obviously Les's bag is now outside, my tea stuff is outside. Oh, that's typical Lassie, we're going to lost the peg now. Oh, It's around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. There we are, Lassie. They're probably all gone by now. We'll check, see whether there's anyone still there watching. Right. And that, oops, hang on. Oh, nearly wrecking the place. Hang on. Oh, there's 4 of them there. There's 4 desperate buggers out there, Lassie. Anyway, so that's basically... let me actually, if I just do that little switcheroo thing there. So, that has, in effect, moved the door from here, now, over to here. And, of course, you don't have to move a sausage. Inside, you can still come in and have, you know, plenty of room. You might just need to, you know, just shuffle a few bits, you know, forward a bit. But as you can see, I've got it pitched very high because there's this killer heat wave coming through. You know, I thought it was a good idea to pitch it quite high, but it's actually transpired that it was quite warm earlier, but the evenings cooled off. And Lassie's got her grub there because she's much more interesting than me. So you can all watch. Let's try and make sure you're a bit level there. You can watch Lassie munching on her food. So basically, there you can see that Lassie's got her food. She's got her water. Although I must admit, it is water, but when I made my soup, I kind of sort of cleaned the bowl out a little bit, and then I gave her the dregs of my soup water. I'm a very, very loving dog owner, but I mean, she might drink it. If she doesn't, then I can tip it out. But she might like a soup flavoured water. If not, then obviously, and I'm sure Lassie will demonstrate this later on, we have... Oh, hang on, talk to the devil. Do you want to go and demonstrate it now then? Well, you can't wait. You got to... Food is less important than than demonstrating splashing. Go on then, go and demonstrate your splashing. Go on then. You're live, so you can't take forever. They'll get bored and piss off in a minute. Go and demonstrate your splashing. You want to demo? Go on then. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do is I'll tell you what, we'll do something else as well. Hang on, let me find a water bowl, because I know this always intrigues everybody. Hang on a minute. We'll just oh, I like my sausage. That's the closest you're going to get to Tony's sausage. Right, now then, back to sensibleness. What we're going to do is, the stream is looking a bit dry. Yes, it is, but don't, hang on, let's point you, but don't panic or worry. We will show you the magic stream. What we're going to do is, this is this water here, and hang on a minute, hang on, let's turn this back here. So what we're going to do is, we're going to pour this water into here, and then what we're going to do is, hopefully we don't lose the signal, but it's a magic stream. So I can take that wire off there. Greetings from Cumbria. Thank you very much. I was up that way. I was very brave the other week. I actually went up to the Lake District. I will go back up there again. Sometime. Or I've actually been quite brave recently. I've gone a bit further than Dartmoor. Now I hope that we don't lose you here. because you can see that this stream here is looking a little bit on the dry side, but it's a magic stream. This was where I came to walk, and we can kind of here like that. Now I'm going to show you this magic stream. So you can see here nothing, okay, nothing, hardly nothing. And then when you come over yonder, oh, hang on a minute, we didn't do our demo. Hang on, sorry, hang on, go and do your splashing. Go and splash. So there's a special splashing pool for Lassie. So the stream itself is almost bone dry, but there is of course a Lassie paddling pool. Let me just make sure, yeah, you can all hear me, that's okay. So that's a special paddling pool there. So like I said, if you do disappear or anything, or the signal goes, let me know, because wandering around we might lose the signal. It just makes it a bit more interesting if we ever wander. So look at this magic stream here. It's like something from the Wizard of Oz or something. So there's no water there, and yet when you come down here, magic water, and then all of a sudden there's an absolute ton of water. You know what I'm going to do, don't you? I'm going to give you one guess as to what I'm going to do. Anyway, we're going to go upstream and we're going to show you where the water kind of disappears from. So we've got Lassie wandering over there. You can do some more splashing in a minute. Also, if I do fall over or anything like that, exactly, if I do fall over or anything like that, then I don't need to press the SOS button on my InReach device. I've done a video. Okay, hopefully we're back again. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there. Houston were calling. Oh, of course I did my that's typical. I did my hotspot thing, but you know where I left the hotspot, don't you? But yeah, exactly. So I kind of angle you. Lassie, would you get out of my water? All right, so I think you can see okay there. All right. You should work okay. Lassie was splashing in the water. Even I'm a little bit on the fussy side. Okay, all right. Now just stay there a minute, Lassie. Hang on. We're going to pull ourselves now. We're going to show you live on television with the water. So just got to try and get down to it. That's the only thing. It's not the easiest of things. So I think you can still see me there. So empty water bottle, note in it. Oops, that's me in the water. Still, that's okay. Live on TV. Oh, very nice. I haven't checked upstream. There's probably a dead goat and a dead antelope. Probably 10 dead prisoners from the prison. Let me just sit down here a minute. It's still quite warm. Let me angle you back up there a minute. There. Very nice. Cheers. Oh, hang on. I'm a bit thirsty actually. You kind of forget how dehydrated you can get. Right, that's better. I saved that dribble. Right, so hang on, let me just reverse back on that again. So we won't go down there obviously. So you can see the stream is in full flow. Very, very chilled. It was actually it's really refreshing. It's very, very nice water. Very nice. So you can see the water kind of comes around here and then it kind of disappears there. So somewhere, I don't know where exactly, but somewhere in this area around here, maybe even under there, is kind of cutting a corner straight through there. So that's where I've actually been up to Dartmoor. I've been camping near the damn place for a couple of nights. So let's cross here. Let's have a wander up to Dartmoor together for a minute. And I say the soldiers were up here, so hopefully we don't get blown up or shot, because I know you'd I know you'd all miss me. Oh no, Tony's being blown up. That means we get thank you, Lassie. He's having a pee. Go on, Lassie. Show them Dartmoor. Hang on, have we missed any questions? That's okay. Just want to make sure we hadn't missed any questions or anything. Okay, so we're just wandering. Obviously the flag isn't flying, so it's obviously safe up here. There's a couple of sheep over there. Okay, signal. The signal would get better, not worse. Odd. Anyway, if you disappear, then I'll go back down again. That's a view through the valley. It's a chain, that's a different chain to chain that I know of in America. Said he walked near me the other day. But I mean, I haven't really, in close proximity. Well, a friend camped with me for the first couple of nights, and he went first thing this morning. But I haven't seen a soul really all day. Two people walked past in the distance earlier, and that's it. That's all I've seen, and that's a Saturday. So it does go to show that you don't have to go a million miles from the car park, you know, to have some peace and quiet. And it really is quite, let me swing it back on me. So it really is quite blowy and blustery up here. I hope my hat doesn't blow off. But yeah, that's a little bit of a, let's switch the camera around so you can see. So that's the rock formation, and there's some sheep down there. Nice bit of lamb down there, lassie. Must admit, I don't really eat lamb very often, but anyway, we'll wander over this way. Looks like the army people, at least I'm assuming it's the army people, because they were definitely here. They've dug something there and then put the turf back again. So we hope that grows back. But they were, this whole area the last few days that I've been here, they've been up here. If I was a bit braver, it kind of crossed my mind. I was sort of half thinking, oh, I wonder if I should walk up to them and say, oh, I'm Tony Hobbs, I'm a YouTuber. Can I have a kind of a poke around your camp? I must admit, I'm not brave enough for that. It's come through this way, so you can see a whole load of sheep through there. This way, lassie. We'll just make sure we go around those sheep. She's very good. She doesn't lassie, this way, come on. She doesn't chase them. So we'll head slowly back into camp. I hope you've enjoyed this little excursion. Oops, oh, good job. I've got my Innovate zero drop shoes. That's why I like the zero drop, because let me just turn this. They might have told you to Foxtrot Oscar. Yeah, probably, yes. Yes, they probably, quite likely, yes. Yeah, they probably wouldn't have been too impressed if I'd have wandered up and tried to nose around their tarps. So, what are you doing, Lassie? I should say, so much for this this killer heat wave. It's quite breezy, actually. Mind you, I'm not sorry. Hang on, we've in avoiding those sheep, we've gone and decided to walk through the land of the tussock here. It's all great Dartmoor fun. But yeah, I mean, I know some of you sort of take the mickey a bit that I always come to Dartmoor, but it's local-ish, it's convenient, and I know it quite well, to say the least. And I must admit, it's just, and it's quiet. I mean, you know, like I said, even here, which is not a million miles from the car park, I'm not sure how far this is, like maybe, I don't know, 1.5 kilometers, something like that. I mean, it's still a small track. I was going to go over sharp tor and around the back. Okay, so here you've got brat tor. Then over there, I think that is almost, that's a good question. That is probably Great Lynx tor, isn't it? I'm thinking that's Great Lynx tor there. You can just see you probably won't be able to see it, especially with my finger taking it out of focus, but I can see one or two people up on brat tor. I'm pretty sure that is Great Lynx tor. And then you can't see it because it's kind of just behind the hill, but you've got chat tor. Then you've got sharp tor here, and then that one there is hare tor. And then this one that we were just on is doe tor. And I think if you walk past hare tor, there's another one down there which I've not been to for quite a long time now, but I think is gare tor. So that's your tors around here. Then if you go straight across there, then you've got fir tor is kind of probably 3 or 4 kilometers in that direction. It is Great Lynx, is it? I thought it probably was Great Lynx. So then you've got fir tor in that direction, and Cut Hill is over that way. You've got Little Kneeset, where I've camped a few times, but it's not the best of places. Little Kneeset's kind of there, and then Great Kneeset's kind of through there a bit, and then Lince Tor is probably through there a bit, and then Yes Tor is probably in that direction over there. So yeah, so if you're looking at your OS map, then obviously you've got, as I say, Brat Tor in front, and then directly behind is Doe Tor, and then that's that line over there, a Sharp Tor and Hare Tor. They're quite nice. They're quite easy to get to. You know, get your walking shoes on and things like that. And you know, if you just want a short walk, you know, short-ish walk, then you can kind of like get up to Brat Tor. You can kind of miss out Chat Tor because it's really quite small and you can't really even see it until you're over the hill. But if you want to test your navigation, yeah, so obviously this is the day. Yeah, so what you could do, yeah, I'll come back to that's a good point. So what you could do if you wanted an easy-ish walk is and you want to test your navigation, is go from Brat Tor, then take a compass bearing, because you can't see it, for Chat Tor, and see whether you can hit Chat Tor, because you'll see it on the map, but you can't see it line of sight. You could do Brat Tor straight over to Sharp Tor, but you can see it, but Chat Tor you can't see until you're literally there. So that's actually quite a good like navigation test for you. Then you could kind of like go to Hare Tor, and then from Hare Tor you could kind of like come to Doe Tor, and then pretty much, you know, back to the car park, you know. So it's not that far. It would be an easy, you know, an easy like beginner's walk. And then obviously, as that gentleman, I'm assuming it's a gentleman, mentions, I don't know whether you can see them, but you've got these poles. There's like one there, there's one there, one there, and then it runs up the side of the hill, and then it kind of runs just the other side of Doe Tor. So this mast here, it hasn't got a flag on it. So because it has not got a flag on it, it's safe to walk in that area. But you've got 3 firing ranges up on Dartmoor. You got Willsworth, I think it's Willsworthy is this one kind of here. Then you got, I think it's Merivale, which is kind of like behind that one. And then you've got the Oakhampton range, which is basically, you know, a whole chunk of the moor over there. I mean, the Oakhampton range is massive. So if you are walking out this way, and I must admit, I didn't even think about it coming out, to be honest, but it was fine because I knew we would be down here and then maybe heading over Oakhampton Way anyway. So it didn't really matter that I'd forgotten, but I had forgotten to check. But the Oakhampton range, which is massive, to be honest, they rarely use that range in the Oakhampton area. I mean, it literally stretches, I think, from here all the way over the other side of the moor. It's a very, very big area, and then quite a massive amount. I think one question there was, how do I walk and talk? And well, I'm kind of, you're obviously looking at the scenery. I must admit, when I'm walking, I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking down at the ground at my feet as to where I'm walking, so I don't go whoa so I don't go flying anywhere. So we'll come down this way. Now we're going back down into this magic disappearing stream, so hopefully you don't disappear again. Let's take you back to, oh, hang on, press that again. Take you back to Lassie. Oop, there's me looking at my feet when I'm walking, and I wasn't. So, and then we're pretty much back at Camp Sunshine. We've got a little, what's the stream's name? I think this stream is Tall Brook. You lot are testing my knowledge a bit here. I think this one's Tall Brook. And then the one over sort of Bleak House area, which is over there. What's that one called? What's that one called over? I'll test you lot now. If someone's got a map open as well. What's the one over by Bleak House called? It's not called Bleak House. Wallabrook. Yeah, that sounds. Oh yeah, I don't think I would have remembered that. Yeah, I don't think I would have remembered that. Walla. It sounds like me, doesn't it? Wally. So we're back to camp. So I just had my cooking stuff partly there, and then I was partly, when it was very hot, sheltering by this tree. She spent sort of half her time under the tree, and then the other half of the time splashing in that pool. Let's have a little look in camp a minute. Let's turn you back round to me. Okay, all right, let's swing you back round again. All right, have I missed any questions? What's the stream's name? How do you check? Okay, so if you Google Cole's Corner, if you're still there. So if you Google Dartmoor firing range, and then it'll come up like, it's like a government, hang on, so you can see me. So yeah, if you Google Dartmoor firing range, and then you'll get like a government website, and then you just open up that government website, and it's just easy to find. You just press the link, and then it'll just give you the days of the week, probably about 6 weeks in advance. And no, I haven't gone that far, no, not this time. And I think it gives you about a 6 week you know, into the future as to what's firing. But like I said, the Oakhampton range, which is this one here, it's very rare that they use that one. They do use it sometimes, but not that often. So the main ones that I use is these over here. I've never seen any live rounds, and so we've got to kind of oh, hang on, we were back again. I almost lost you then for a minute. Hopefully you don't disappear, because hopefully we now have oh God, hopefully we have this hotspot thing up here. So that was an interesting wander. It's quite cozy in here. Like I said, we've got, you know, plenty of room. We've got it very high because we've got a whole load of, you know, air flowing. Hang on, I don't need to turn that around. I can just do that, can't I? So, you know, we've got it very, very high off the ground, and it actually kept it, you know, really quite cool, you know, during the night. Yes, that is the local dead sheep there. There's nothing left of it whatsoever. There's nothing, hang on. There's nothing left of it, just a load of wool. It shows how tough wool is, because literally every other part of it has gone apart from the wool. We've been quite lucky with midges, to be honest. I had one bite on my hand, and I put some fusidin on it, and that cleared that up pretty quickly. I use this mosquito milk, and it's really, really good. I really do recommend this. It's a glass jar, so it most certainly is not lightweight. It's quite heavy, because like I said, you know, it's a glass jar, and you can't really, you know, it's got like a roller top, so you can't tip it out into a smaller plastic container. But it actually is worth its weight in gold, this stuff. It is DEET, but it's a tried and tested formula. I think it's been going for many, many, many years. And I know my dad took it to Kenya, Tanzania, Zimbabwe in the 1990s, and it was really, really good out there. Everybody was getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, and apart from it's a funny little story, apart from the last day where apparently my dad's a bit like me, we're too clumsy buggers sometimes, and he dropped it the last day. So we went the whole week and not one single bite, and then literally the last day he goes and drops it, and of course, unfortunately, because it's glass, it's smashed. And apparently he was groveling on his hands and knees on the floor, putting this mosquito milk on his fingers, you know, trying to avoid the broken shards of glass, you know, wiping it all over himself. And apparently he got away with just one bite, you know, at the very end. So you know, it just is really, really good. Like I said, it's not the cheapest, it's not the lightest, but it does seem to work better than most that I've tried. Not that I've tried many, to be honest. So let me see a couple of questions that I've checked, because the questions are like come and go. I've never been into the Fox and Hounds. I think the Dartmoor Inn is like down there, but whether it's still open or not, I don't know. But when I come out here, I come out here not to go to the pub or anything. And the nearest, oh hang on, that's the only thing with a phone. The chats don't stay up. There might be some, maybe there's some way of keeping the chats up. I don't know. The nearest range to me is Senny Bridge Ranges. I live on the edge of the Brecon Beacons. So I haven't been over to the Brecon so much. I might have a look over there sometime. I quite like this. Like I said, I've got to kind of, I'm a bit familiar with the Lake District now. So hopefully I'll get back up to lakes again sometime. I was thinking of going this weekend, decided against it with the weather. I'd only be over the hill behind you. Yeah, Jim, you'd probably be over at Lint's Tor, wouldn't you, if you'd gone today. To be honest, it hasn't been too bad. It was hot about 3 o'clock this afternoon. It was quite hot this afternoon. Food, okay, so I've got some Stilton in there. I've kind of like double wrapped it up, and I've put it to you, and I've put it in some kitchen roll as well. I think with the lakes, I think they're just a bit, I don't know, maybe it's my imagination, but I kind of think with the lakes it's a bit more remote. You can kind of sort of disappear into the hills a bit more. That's what I kind of like with here. You can kind of, you know, disappear, and you know the chances of bumping into people are fairly remote. That's why I don't really bother with Exmoor. I just think it's too small. I like it here because you can kind of like disappear. I'm sure the Brecon Beacons is quite large. I'll maybe get up there one day. I'm a bit of a creature of habit, and I must admit, when I've done something and I know I can do it, I tend to be, I'm a bit boring. I know that's why most of you don't bother watching, but that's fine. So food, I've got this, it's the same thing I used last, thank you Lassie. It's the same thing I used last time, this noodle. So I had one of these already with the chicken, and I had couscous last night. So I've got this one for tonight. And then I seem to have a spare cup of soup because I didn't have a cup of soup yesterday. And then I've got porridge for the morning. And then I've got this chorizo sausage thing, which I've had like 3 pieces of it, and I think it's surviving. I'm hoping, given that it says deep refrigerated. Well, I didn't die last night, so you know, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's got enough preservatives in it and salt in it to keep it going. I'll give it a good sniff later and probably chuck that in with that. So that's basically my food. And then with the cheese I have crackers, because I'm not crackers enough, so I have cream crackers, and then I've got a load of food. Actually, I always bring more than I need. I'm not going to eat all that. And then I just bring a load of these like biscuit things like that. So you know, if I did get extra hungry, I always bring more than I need, because I don't do, thank you Lassie, because I don't do, you know, so much walking. I'm not getting so hungry, but I used to get through all of that. And then, you know, what have we got in camp? So here we've got my My toothbrush, yes, I have cut it in half. We're very tragic here, aren't we? We do cut toothbrushes in half. We've got a little drop of, you know, hand cleaning stuff, which I must admit I tend to forget to use, to be honest. And then some soap. It's like it's Dr. Bonner's soap. So, you know, when I remember to do my teeth, and I tend to forget to do my teeth out here, to be honest, but when I remember to do my teeth, then I have, because it's like just me, so I can't really offend anybody. So I use soap for cleaning my teeth, and obviously my hands if I needed to, and if anything needed cleaning, then I've got that. I've got this little emergency torch, which obviously we don't need, and a hand gel, which I must admit I rarely use. I got these wet wipe things that I keep with the toilet paper, so I must admit the one time when I'm not just, you know, a slovenly slob around camp and I do clean my hands is after I've had a crap. Then I do wash my hands. I do rinse, you know, use a cloth with my hands. Yeah, that Dr. Bonner's is good. I didn't bring so much in the way of clothes because it's, you know, not cold. I am going to have to invest in another raincoat soon because I got a bit fatter and I don't fit into all of mine. And my Arc'teryx XCR raincoat is literally falling apart, even though I still fit in it, but it's falling apart. But I just bought a light raincoat, a wind shirt. I never ever travel camp without a wind shirt. They're an absolute godsend. And when you're in an open shelter like this, the shelter protects you from the rain and to a degree the wind, although not the baked bean wind obviously, but you're still going to get a draft. You know, you're still going to get a draft. So I do find, oh, I didn't bring a, oh yeah, okay, I'll give her one of these. Actually, I must remember to bring those biscuits that Shane brought with. Do you want a cracker? Oh, she's so gentle. Oh, let's see. Maybe you could eat it so that everybody can. I shouldn't even eaten it. Come around here. Come around here and eat your biscuit. Oh. Hang on, let's try and give you a shot, not in the crotch, but I want to get you all excited just yet. Can you? There you go. So you've had your biscuit. Are there many midges? No, we've been quite lucky, to be honest. Yesterday there was a few things flying around in camp, and there have been a few horse flies, but not too many. And again, like I said, I put this stuff on, and it seems to scare most of them away. I have this coil thing here which I stick inside a peg, and then I light. At least your pole is up. Yeah, I got my erection up here. So we got a nice firm, sturdy erection going here. So if any bugs do come along, I do hear it's more the female bugs that can nibble on you a bit more, but I don't fancy being nibbled by a female bug so much. So I do have this as well. So I kind of stick that in one of my pegs, and then just light the end of that, and then that gives off some smoke, and that kind of helps. And basically, we've got nighttime socks, nighttime t-shirt, nighttime leggings, and that's it. And really, that clothing system, you know, could be used by day as well. It's not just You know, I could use it any time really. And then obviously a down jacket, which I did use the first night, but last night I didn't use, but I put my wind shirt on last night. And then we haven't mentioned MLD yet, have we, apart from Trailstar? But I did go inside my MLD sleeping bag liner thing, and I've got my MLD quilt here, which is very, very light, but it's warm enough, just about warm enough, but I am kind of a freezing cold sleeper. What else have we got round here? That's really it, really. Then obviously my cooking stuff, you know, is out there. I might not open this actually, because I've still got some Stilton left. So can you hang on, I missed that. Yes, I'll give somebody a shout out. I probably won't open that, to be honest, because I've still got some Stilton left. Oh yeah, no, you never guess what. I made a bit of a boo-boo. You know, I had one of those air pump things, and it was one of those ones that's advertised on Facebook, and it was very useful in pumping up my airbed, but I always gave it to Lassie to carry. I thought it was quite light. I may as well give her something to carry with her food, and it survived 2 or 3 dunkings, I'm sure. But last trip, I think she must have been in the Lake District. She must have been in the water, you know, a little bit too long, and she basically killed it. So I got this Thermarest pump thing, but there's one slight snag. I've got the old-fashioned Thermarest mats, and of course they've changed the nozzle on their mat, so I got that, and it doesn't even fit any of my Thermarest mats. But I might actually have to change this mat because it does go down. I stuck it in the bath a few weeks ago to check if there was any leaks or punctures or holes in it or anything like that, and no, I couldn't see any bubbles. I couldn't see any leaks at all, but it's definitely going down. And it's not just the atmosphere, because sometimes the atmosphere or the warmth of your body can make it you know, deflate, you know, kind of the air pressure can affect how it is, but it's definitely not that, because it really does go down, you know, quite a lot. So I think I might have to, you know, change that. I've got this Garmin InReach, which I thought might be, I got the black one. The reason why I got that, would have got the red one because it kind of stands out a bit more, but they're quite expensive. They're about 300 odd, 350 pounds, and I didn't really want to pay that out in one go. When Snow and Rock was doing the black one online with Clara, whatever it's called, and you like pay over 3 months interest free, but they were only doing it on the black one. So I got the black one, so it's like over 3 months. So beggars won't be choosers. So I was, you know, got that, and then obviously the usual, you know, leads. You know, you can't eat that. The usual leads. I just brought the one GoPro this time. You know, power packs. That's pretty much it, really. Obviously, all my rubbish. Take all your rubbish with you. So I've got this. This is, God knows how long this is. But all my rubbish, you know, goes in there. Tea stuff, you know, and that's it. So and then obviously I brought the inner mainly because in the summer, you know, you get bugs when you get bugs, and I wanted to try the inner, you know, with this. This is the new inner with the Trailstar. So it's got this big D kind of door here. I think a T shaped door would really be better. Then you could keep this side done up here and then just have like one side open or that side open, one or the other, rather than the whole front. But well, it works okay. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I have got one other thing. Mine's bigger and better than yours, obviously. I've got a, I don't know, there it is. I used to carry it in its pouch, but that was kind of heavy and bulky, and I couldn't get all the bits together. So I've got this one here. This is the Kestrel 5500. I'll tell you what there. And then it's just handy in this little pouch, because if I do set it up on its wind vane on the tripod, then it doesn't weigh anything. It's only these teeny weeny little bits here. You kind of just attach it to that. That goes on your tripod, so it really doesn't weigh anything extra. And then that kind of goes on there, and then you can kind of leave it outside and you can get a pretty accurate weather thing. I must admit, I don't very often use it for that. I tend to forget. So the temperature at the moment is 20 degrees, so plenty warm enough. The barometer 1022, or the air pressure at 0 meters 979. The dew point is 12.5 degrees centigrade. Humidity 65 degrees. I doubt we're going to get down to the dew point of 13 degrees. I doubt it. I think it'll be warmer than that tonight. It'll probably be about 14. I think it's going to go down to about 14 degrees, something like that. One thing I did do with the InReach, no one else has done a video on the weather, but yours truly did. Hang on. If I go down there and enter there, because I did it like a day and a half ago, it's a little bit out of date, and you've got to pay a quid for it, so it's not something I'm going to do very often, but I did it just to try. So Saturday, you can tell the weather there on this. I don't know how close to where you are this actually does the weather, because it says something like 20 kilometers away or something. So, you know, I'm not sure how brilliant the forecasting is on this, but according to this, maximum 23, minimum 14. This is for today, Saturday. Sunny intervals, 10% chance of rain. And then tomorrow, 26, 17 degrees. I've got Jim shouting at me. Jim, what are you saying? You want me to shout someone out? Who have I got to shout out? Let's have a look. Can you give a shout out? I got bit. Oh, bitten. You got bitten a lot the other week, but I did go through a lot of bracken. Yeah. Have you had any problems with ticks? Because I must admit, I've not had. I seem to be quite lucky, to be honest, with ticks. They seem to avoid me. Can you give a shout out? Who am I giving a shout out? It's for Wandering Jay. He hasn't been too well lately. Wandering Jay, I hope you get better soon. And also for Carl, Deadfall Outdoor. Nick likes your tights. So shout out to Wandering Jay, hope you get better soon, and a shout out for Carl, Deadfall Outdoors. Nick likes your tights. So I've done my shouting out. I've done my shouting out. I've just got an anemometer, a cheap one, just to see what it's like. The cheap ones work just fine though, to be honest. I mean, my thing is I've got bloody anemometers all over the place. You know, I've got one on there. This one doesn't have it, but if I've got one of my other G-Shocks on it, although an anemometer is probably wind and that type of thing, but air pressure and all of that stuff, you know, this has got air pressure. Most of my G-Shocks have got air pressure. This has got air pressure. You know, that hasn't got air pressure. I don't think anything else has got air pressure, but just about everything I've got has got air pressure and compasses on it. Again, most of the G-Shocks have got compasses on them. This has got a compass on it. That's got a compass on it. That's got a compass on it. Plus I've got a regular compass. Plus I've got the phone with a map on it. Actually, I have been using, see you fellas, off to watch the golf again. Enjoy the golf. Nigel Mansell wins the golf, by the way. I don't want to spoil the golf for you, but I did hear that Nigel Mansell won the golf. I do apologise if I have spoilt the golf. So I have actually been using that that outdoors, active outdoors thing. I might do a little bit, might be worth doing a little video on that and this and that, because it's actually not that bad, to be honest. It's kind of grown on me a bit, but then I haven't had to pay for anything yet, because I did switch over. You will do as I tell you to do. Like and subscribe. Yeah, so I did switch over the View Ranger, you know, to outdoor active. I don't know how long it will last until they, you know, decide they need to charge me or something. But I must admit, it doesn't seem too bad, actually. I must admit, I hate to say that, but it's not as good as View Ranger, and it's missing a million features on View Ranger, but it doesn't seem too bad. Top knee is Nadine Torres. I must admit, I don't actually watch golf, so all I know is you got Tiger Woods. There was that Spanish chap, Sevi Ballesteros, and there's a McIlroy. I really don't know. I really don't. The commentator was that. Oh, he was a really famous commentator, wasn't he? I can't think of his name now either. Anyway, but I don't really watch. I'm more of a cricket and tennis person, although I haven't really kept up on those quite so much recently. But I'm more a tennis and cricket person. I used to watch Formula One a very long time ago, and then I kind of gave up on that a bit. But yeah, that outdoor active, it's not too bad, to be honest. It's missing a lot of the View Ranger features, so they really do need to, you know, up their game a bit, and I hope they don't charge too much. But it actually syncs up. I'll try and do a video on it. I'm not actually going to keep I'm giving my Apple Watch away to someone. That's a different story. But I'm going to, you can link Outdoor Active and your Apple Watch, and I might just do a little video on that tomorrow, because I'm not keeping this one. I just don't use it. But you know, I've got the Garmin, and now the OS maps, when you do a route on OS maps, you can't at this moment in time, unfortunately, transfer it to Garmin Explore. Therefore you can't get it on your Garmin watch. But Outdoor Active, if you do a route on Outdoor Active, that will transfer to Garmin Explore, which then syncs with your Garmin watch. That's one thing I did, you know, discover the other day. Well, it was when I was in the Lake District. I discovered that. Let me just. Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. Well, I think the reason why they did it was that, and it's a shame they sold out, didn't they? You know, View Ranger was just, you know, it was just head and shoulders above everything else. And of course, those of us that, you know, bought the mapping, we had the mapping for life, and it wasn't cheap either. But they all seem to be going for this. You know, where you got to pay monthly or yearly or something. You know, why can't you just pay for something once and be done with it? And then it's up to you whether you want to get it updated or not. So, yeah, I think it is a shame that View Ranger disappeared, to be honest. But yeah, the OS Maps app is good. Whether I stick with that long term or switch more to outdoor active, I'm not sure. We'll have to see, because like I said, if I can't hook Ordnance Survey up with this watch, then that's a little bit of a pain. I use OS now, but I like the feature on View Ranger for pinning camp spots. Yeah, you know, and give a shout out too for Border Rambler. Yep, that's Dave. I don't watch very many YouTube outdoor channels, I must admit. Border Rambler, I do watch yours, and sometimes I'll watch Scott, isn't it? He's got a brand new chopper, I noticed recently, so I sometimes watch some of his. Hello, Dave. And I don't really watch many of the others. All the others get like millions and millions of views, and if I'm going to be giving my view to someone else when I hardly get any of the bloody things myself, so I'm kind of, and I'm doing it myself as well, so I kind of don't really, I don't really watch very many channels. Hang on. Splash Maps make a fabric map too. I've not used that one. I use the Harvey maps a lot. Actually, I probably use Harvey maps more than OS. So, you know, this is a Harvey map of Dartmoor. And obviously we're a very good Boy Scout. You know, we still have the old-fashioned map and compass. You know, I have to admit, I rarely use them. I tend to either use the Garmin, the mapping on the Garmin, or I use the, you know, the phone. Yeah, the phone quite a bit. But I try to look at it occasionally, just to try and keep the eye in, you know, a little bit. My map reading's reasonable. It's not brilliant. I could probably do with being better at map reading. If I didn't know where I was, I probably would be probably would end up getting lost, knowing me. So I don't know whether there's anything else. We've been chatting for about 76 minutes. I've shown you around camp, I've shown you my food, shown you pretty much everything in here. We shifted the door. Like I said, I'll probably leave it at this height, most likely, because I really don't think it's going to get organized chaos. Yeah, I know you're very map and compass, very map and compass orientated. So I carry this as a tribute to organized chaos for you know, being a map and compass aficionado. I'm too techy. I got, you know, tech everywhere. We're coming at my bloody ears before long. I do remember a long time ago. I don't know if many of you know Keith Foskett, Fossey anyway. He said that one day in the future there'll probably be like a hologram in front of us. We won't even be using watches and compasses and things like that. We'll be walking and there'll be like a hologram in front of us telling us where to go. I'm not quite sure what planet he came from to come up with that idea. Rubbish, I think I saw. Have you noticed an increase in rubbish? Not really. Just here, you know, I have seen bits here and there, but I can't say that it's necessarily, you know, a big increase. Probably the worst of it is going to be near roads and, you know, and car parks and things like that. I was chatting with, I'm not going to say who or where, but I was chatting with someone who lives locally here, and he said that someone very kindly, and he obviously said it in a sarcastic way, but you know, at least they carried the rubbish off. But obviously someone had been camping, you know, probably not as far into the moor as I am, but clearly, you know, not right next to the car park either. And apparently they must have had a party or something like that. It must have been a group of them, and they had about 2 black bags worth of rubbish. Now, give them their due, they did put all their rubbish into black bags, but unfortunately they left it literally outside his house. So they all pissed off home and left all their rubbish in 2 black bags outside this person's home, you know, on the outskirts of the moor. So we had to go through all that and sort out chicken drumsticks and recycling and all sorts of stuff like that. So I think he was kind of thankful they hadn't left it on the moor, but I don't think he was too impressed that they'd dumped it. You know, for the love of God, if you bring your stuff with you, why can't you take it home with you? I don't know what's wrong with people. But I mean, when I was walking, like I said, I don't do quite so much walking now, but when I was walking, you know, several years ago, you know, I did notice even then a beer can here or a lager can there, or something dumped here or something dumped there. I can't say that I've seen an increase in it, but I've certainly seen some of it. And when I did the Lake District walk, so not the last Lake District walk, but the one before, when I sort of camped at the top of the valley, but the one before the last one, I did notice in a nook and cranny, I didn't pick it up because I didn't really fancy lugging out rubbish, you know, for 2 nights of camping. I mean, I probably would pick up something if I was heading straight back to the car and I could, you know, put it in there. I might pick up some rubbish, but I did notice someone, and now whether they'd stuck it down in this nook and cranny, I'm not quite sure, or whether it blew off and it was a rucksack cover. So someone's obviously rucksack cover. Personally, I don't see the point of rucksack covers. Maybe one day I'll do a rant about rucksack covers, because I think they're the most ridiculous, useless things ever. But anyway, I'm sure a lot of you like them, so I'm sure they're very good, useful items for all of you that like your rucksack covers. But I think they're the most ridiculous items that ever existed. And this rucksack cover was, like, you know, jammed down by some rocks. So it didn't look like it had blown there. I mean, maybe it had blown there, but it looked more like it had like got torn or ripped, and the person using it, because they're so ridiculously useless, it probably just blew off or got ripped or torn or something like that, and they probably just jammed it down into this rock. But I wasn't going to be carrying, I'm not carrying that out, but I do remember seeing that. So, you know, kudos, or whatever the word is, to people who, you know, do carry stuff out. And I know some of you actually do. So, you know, I'm too much of a heathen to carry other people's rubbish out. But, you know, good on you for those that, you know, do carry, you know, other people's crap out. You know, at least someone does some good. Right, let's, we're going to finish up, I think, oops, in a minute. I don't know whether, okay, so that's where one dog goes, you know, and I usually find that she could, you know, even when it's raining and cold, she could, you know, go somewhere in there, but more often than not, she just, I don't know. Hang on, press that wrong. You think I'm mad, but I think my dog is, I think she's even madder than I am, and more often than not, she's outside the tent. The only time that she'll come in, it's pretty nice, isn't it? The only time that she'll come in is if it's like really, really cold, or, you know, very, very rain, very heavy rain. Then she's likely to come in, but then of course she then gets her bed soaked. I dry the bed off, and then what does she do? Literally 2 minutes later, she just goes back out in the rain again. So I must admit, I don't very often bother drying her, you know, because by the time I've dried her, she just gets everything soaked again. You know, you'd literally need like 20 towels out here. So anyway, that's where she just kind of like makes nests in different places like that. And yeah, it might even be where, if I remember, if you will, oh God, if you will piss off in a minute, hang on, I might try and do a time lapse of that of that thing there. Can I point out the tours? I think someone's. You might get a. I use a pack cover, and it's on all the time. Extra storage space. There's always one who's going to use a pack cover, and I must admit they seem to be very popular. A lot of people, you know, I must admit a lot of people do use them. So if you want to use your pack cover, you know, that's fine. I just think they're sort of a right hassle, you know, to use. I think they're going to just blow off, and then when you want to get to your pack, you got to move it. If you want to strap stuff to the outside of your pack, is it going to, you know, is it going to go over your pack? Is it going to work? And so, yeah. And, you know, I would rather waterproof my stuff inside the pack rather than, you know, worrying about one of those ridiculous, you know, pack cover things. I think someone wanted me to point the tours out again. Okay, one last time. So, Brat Tor, you can't see Great Lynx Tor over there. Bleak House is kind of hiding over there. Chat Tor you can't see because it's hiding behind that hill there. Sharp Tor, Hare Tor, you can't see Gare Tor. It's kind of, well actually you might just be able to see Gare Tor, maybe just there. and then that's Dartmoor there. So that's your tours, and then that's your one lone tree. In fact, it's not the only tree. There is one more tree just up there. So it's not a bad spot here, you know, to be honest. So did I answer every question? Let's have a look. I think I did. Before you go, you'll have to meet up with myself and a few others for a quickie. Might not have time, but sometime we'll have to do a meet up with Jim, and I think Mike mentioned a while ago about meeting up on. Let's get you back to look at me. I think Mike once mentioned about trying to meet up once over on Great Links tour, but I wasn't free that day. But you know, mostly I prefer, you know, camping by myself, as you know. But you know, I'm not averse to. Ooh, let's just sit down a minute. I'm not averse to sharing, you know, from time to time. So, hate to say it, but I may have a pee by that tree. Not recently, though. Well, don't worry. I mean, I've probably peed over by that tree as well. As we probably find all the sheep and everything like that after we go, or going over there and, you know, reclaiming that territory over there. But yeah, you know, at some point, Jim will maybe, and some of the others will try and do a joint camp or something if we can ever arrange anything like that. I'm not completely adverse to sharing once in a blue moon. Can you point out the tours? Yep, done that. Sunset, yep. I might get going in a minute and try and set the GoPro up for that. Okay, I think we're up to date on everything there. So we've been chatting for nearly about an hour and a half now, so it's just gone 8. Probably time to set the GoPro up, maybe do a sunset thingamybobs there. Oh, for me. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. It was a bit short notice. I kind of haven't really got around to doing a live stream for a while, but I thought, I keep thinking about it, and then either something happens or I don't get around to doing it, or I'm never quite sure what to talk about. But if I'm out here and there's a signal, then, you know, it's a bit easier to do it here, because like I said, that some of these other big YouTubers who have thousands of subscribers, they can probably get like dozens of questions and things like that. But because only like 5 of you watch me, we don't really get so many questions to actually answer. So it's kind of like winging it as we go along. We're not that bad. I'm the only one that doesn't snore. Well, then we better just, you know, camp well apart. In other words, you camp over there, I camp here, get your inReach, and then we'll communicate via inReach satellite. And then if you are snoring, then you won't disturb my sleep. Anyway, I think whilst we've still got, you know, 12 of you there, now's a good time to, 10 of you, 2 of you already gone. Now's probably a good time to get going. Actually, one second, you can just be a guinea pig for me. I just want to try one thing. If this doesn't work, then I'll just turn off anyway. But before you go, as you know, I was using this Road Go thing here, and quite literally the battery was getting low on it, so I had to put power into it there. And I've got the other one receiving power from here, hopefully receiving power anyway. Obviously you can still hear me, so something's working. So I'm going to say goodbye, but I'm just going to unplug. So for 1 second, you're not going to hear anything. Right, can you hear this? Is this working? Because basically I've now disconnected the road, so the road is now no more. Can you hear this? Is this working? Let me go to chat. Can you hear me? Put a comment below. Can you hear me with this? There's no comment, so no, just cameras, audio. So can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. And can you see me? You can see me and you can hear me. So if I'm using this and not the road go thing, so if I was just using this, so basically if the battery in this ran out, you can hear me and see me with this. Okay, all right, good. All right, thank you. That's a interesting test then. So if I just, so interestingly, the transmitter, I always get confused. So that's a transmitter. You know, the mic isn't working, so you can't hear me. Oh, right, okay. A-okay. So some of you can hear me, and some of you can't hear me then. That's weird. that's kind of bizarre, isn't it? So some of you can hear me, and some of you can't then. I can hear you. Okay, all right, so some of you can hear me, and some of you can't. Let me just make sure this is turned off. So that's now off. And that's off. So there's no way that this is working. That's off completely. So with just this, and I'm sure it has to be yes as well because this wasn't connected, you can still hear me with that. Okay. All right, well, I'll check just for 2 more seconds with that then, because like I said, I was white cable okay, just the camera audio. Ah, right, okay, so you can hear the camera audio, not this then. So you can hear the wind then, can you? So I'm guessing you're getting wind noise then and that this is not working. Okay. All right, so if I take that out, then you can probably, so now can you hear me the same just with the camera as with that? Okay, all right then, so that obviously, so that doesn't work at all then. Okay, so much for that. I think what it is, you need camera, okay, I think you need 3 black rings on this, and that only has 2. So I think that's why that doesn't work on there, because that's only got 2 black rings, and in order to get the microphone to work, you need 3 black rings on there, which then attaches into that, and then that then works for that. I've got the adapter for Rode, but would Rode do an adapter for that, I wonder? Because I only use this as like an absolute emergency. So now I know that this will probably work with the GoPro, but not the phone, which is realistically what I would just use it for anyway. It's just like an emergency, you know, it's so light and you know, it's so light. If these fail, then I can use that with the GoPro, but not the phone. So okay, that's fine. I just wanted to test that. So you were some very useful guinea pigs there. But I also found that this power pack doesn't charge these very well. I need to use, I don't know whether it's because it's a newer power pack or what, but I have to use this. So it's a good job I carry a load of power packs with me. That's why I might change these one day in the future to the newer version, or DJI do one as well, and they actually have like a little little sort of like a holder, and you can put them in the holder, and then they charge up in that. So one day I'll upgrade to that. So yeah, I think you need some different hello Tours and Moors. I'm afraid we're coming to the end of this. We're coming to the end of this live stream. I'm going to have to get going, try and get a thingy-bob going. Oh God, the brain's gone dead again. A time lapse going for that, and get some food in my stomach and get a cup of tea on. We've been chatting for a little while, but hopefully Tours and Moors, we will see you again another time. And if you're so inclined, go back to the beginning of the live stream and just no running around naked either. Well, I'll try not to. It's a bit, you know, actually, it's a bit too close to civilization here, you know, to do that. When you go a bit further in, as the actress said to the bishop, I know, but when you go a bit further in, then you could probably risk running around in your birthday suit a bit more, because there's less likely to be people in, you know, when you get further into the moor. Not that I've ever done that, obviously, but here you're a bit too public here, maybe, although I haven't actually seen anybody around. You do always, either you're always walking around naked, or you always go back to the beginning of the live stream. I'm not quite sure which it is, but whichever it is, enjoy what you are doing. Enjoy what you are doing, and no one will tell on you, because let's face it, nobody's going to admit to walking around naked here, and nobody is going to admit to watching one of my videos. That is for sure. Apart from just the mad dozen or so of you. Think the cattle have heard about your erect pole? Well, the cattle were here yesterday. I do apologise now if you just got wind noise, but I can't be bothered to hook all this back up again now. But we had some cows came around earlier on, and of course in one of my other camps on the South Moor, we did have the cows came very close to camp. They do seem to, for some reason, I'm not quite sure why, but I seem to attract cows. You know, I've been in camp, and I seem to attract the cows. Just my luck, to be honest. I'd rather attract the birds, but there you go. We can't win them all, can we? Yeah, I get the wind as well. I had my friend here, you know, for a couple of nights. He was camping just a little bit, and I was like sort of sitting there, like, as you do, you're sort of talking, and you're sort of, you know, you've got a fart. you can feel the fart building up inside. You're sort of thinking, I'm with someone. I don't really want to let one go when they're too close. You kind of pinch your ass together a bit, and you kind of hope that it kind of escapes quietly, you know, without blowing your friend away. And then the stupid thing is, you get inside your tent, which is like literally like probably 2 or 3 or 4 meters away from them, and you kind of just let rip. It's kind of like you're in your tent. It's kind of like you feel safe there, even though they're quite close to you anyway. And you don't really care about farting inside your tent, even though they can probably hear you're blowing off. But when you're sitting next to them and you haven't got that material there, you kind of tend to be half discreet and half, oh, well, I don't really give a toss, I'm going to fart anyway, kind of attitude. So we kind of save that towards the end of the live stream. So if anyone watches, they probably haven't got to this part. So it's only the dedicated few, you know, that will know about farting and things like that. Well, farting definitely is better than snoring. That is definitely that is definitely true. I'm glad you get the wind all the time, Jim. I do too. So, you know, if we're here, we'll be trumpeting together or something like that. I'm terrible for wind. Okay, I think we have reached You Make a Nice Tune. Yeah, I'm sure. It's surprising, I edit out quite a lot of wind from my videos. It's quite often I think once or twice I've I've left one in, or I've left a belch in after I've eaten or something, just for you know, the fun of it. But I must admit, I edit out most of the wind. Anyway, I think I need to disappear now. I could actually do with a pee as well, so I'm sure you don't want me to pee in front of the camera. So I'm going to disappear, and I will, you know, don't forget, there'll be some video from this, God alone knows what, from this camp. But thank you very much for watching, and we will do, yes, just over there. So you can all imagine me in a minute having a pee over there. And I won't do what Rick Mail was always talking about. No wanking on this channel, okay? Just peeing, no wanking. All right, we're going to disappear, and I will see you all again in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye from me. And if I just press that button there, literally goodbye from her too. We will see you another time whenever we do another live stream. Thank you very much for watching, and stay Cornish, and Mike and Shane, because Shane will probably be watching from America in the future. There's a chap in Australia. Oh, bloody hell, my memory. But the Australia chap, you'll probably be watching in the future. Maybe the New Zealand chap might be watching. We've got some very strange countries. It's the it's the convicts. They escaped from the prison. They escaped from the prison. That's why they probably watch me, because they ended up going down to Australia. Anyway, I'm going to, how do I, are you sure you want to stop the streaming? Well, I'm going to stop this streaming because I need to do another stream by that tree in a minute. So I'm going to say toodaloo. I will see you all again in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you soon.